Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Friday, December 24, 2021. Major work is set to commence in early January on the Clarendon-based Chapelton Community Hospital. This follows the signing of a $112 million contract for Phase 2 of the upgrading and expansion project earlier this week. The Southern Regional Health Authority, SRHA, has contracted the services of Senitech Engineering Company to carry out the project. Regional Director of SRHA, Michael Bent, says the hospital should be recommissioned into service by the middle of next year. Phase 1 of the upgrading work was financed by Beverly Nichols, a native of the District of Blackwoods who currently resides in the United States. She donated a total of $1 million through her Push Start Foundation. Phase 2 is funded by the National Health Fund and the Chase Fund. Minister of Finance and the Public Service Dr. Nigel Clarke is asserting that government is pushing forward to ensure the public sector compensation review is implemented within the targeted timeline next year. The review is intended to overhaul the structure of salaries and other emoluments in the public service to make them more equitable. Minister Clarke says he is committed to begin its implementation in April 2022.
It's going to represent good progress, and what we have to make sure is that we don't make perfection the enemy of the good. It's a once-in-a-generation reform, a once-in-a-generation opportunity. A reform of this nature has not happened in living memory. It is an ambitious reform. It is an ambitious reform. But we can only do it with the leadership of persons represented here today and others.
Dr. Clarke was speaking on Wednesday during a heads of agreement signing with 6 additional bargaining units representing public sector workers. That signing means 31 bargaining units representing 80,000 public sector workers have now accepted government's offer of a 4% wage increase for the one-year period April 2021 to March 2022. Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton has affirmed that government is working towards facilitating more face-to-face classes in the new year. Dr. Tufton says this will be achieved through the collective efforts of stakeholders in the education sector.
The decisions around back to school and the schedule are decisions that have to be taken at the highest level of the government, the cabinet. I can articulate the thinking, because that thinking has been articulated by the Honorable Prime Minister and the Minister of Education. And it's a sentiment of the Cabinet, that we really need to get our children back into the classroom.
The Health Minister was addressing a COVID Conversations virtual press briefing on Tuesday. He says his ministry is working with its education counterpart to ensure schools have the necessary health and safety measures in place.
Because it will have to include protocols around the same thing, sanitizing and physical distancing and so on, to the best that we can do, but also a response that will be efficient in assessing symptoms, testing and treatment, and extracting from the population those who display any signs of contamination or having the virus.
The country has seen an increase in the number of persons commissioned as Justices of the Peace, JPs, in 2021 compared to last year. In a recent press release, the Justice Ministry reported that since the start of the year, more than 900 citizens have responded to the call to become a JP. During the same period last year, 617 Justices of the Peace were commissioned into service. Many were engaged through an island-wide campaign to increase the cohort of JPs. The largest number of newly appointed JPs came from St. Andrew with 299 and St. Catherine, where 207 persons were commissioned into service. And finally, Tax Administration Jamaica, TAJ, has resumed the collection of payments for traffic ticket fines at its tax offices island-wide and online at www.jamaicatax.gov.jm. The service was recently suspended after changes to the applicable law and the resulting need for a list of traffic offense codes being provided to the Revenue Authority to effect changes to its systems. With this resumption, the TAJ says only traffic tickets issued within the last 21 days and presented for payment can be receipted by tax administration. More information can be found by calling the Tax Administration Customer Care Center at 888-TAX-HELP. That's 888-829-4357, or visiting the TAJ's website. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.